before the ACC schedule gets underway. They got to get through another half here against the Pride.
2 goal scores for the Orange, 2 goal scores for the Pride in the opening 45 minutes, and we're back underway for what should be a very exciting second half. If the opening 45 was any testament to that. Buchanan gives way for Raposo, charging down the line, flicks for Buchanan, flown for Goldfarb. Goldfarb still with it. Feeling the back pressure, and Del Hamel calms things down. The Orange hoping to get their 3rd lead of the evening early on. Buchanan stripped. Hofstra not with the clear yet, as Goldfarb tracks it down. Illy Goldfarb, the freshman from Toronto, in some space. Soft touch and intercepted. It just took 14 minutes in the opening half for Sorley to score on a rebound for Syracuse. And then minutes later, Luke Brown converted on a penalty kick. He beat Hendrik Hilpert, diving to his right. Just minutes after, Tajon Buchanan on a gorgeous feed from Hugo Del Hamel. Perfect service. Buchanan was waiting, and the Orange took a 2-1 lead into the later stages of that first half before Sean Nealis converted on the header, another set-piece goal. And that's where we find ourselves as we begin the second.
Luke Brown knocking that one out of bounds. He led Hofstra in shots in the first half with 3. Only one other player had 1, and that was Nealis, who just, as you mentioned, Dana, netted that header to equalize.
Buchanan feels contact down the sideline. Doesn't get the call he wants. Syracuse with 10 shots in that first half officially. Through their first 2 games to play out on the West Coast against Oregon State in Portland, they'd average 6 a game. Headed out of play, and Hofstra retains possession. Early stages of this second half. It's brought a lot of Orange fans to the S2 Soccer Stadium. Lining the hill behind the goal which Hendrik Hilpert occupies. He's been beat twice today. No saves for the senior from Germany. Nealis roars back, hurls it in, dangerously falls for Brown, but Del Hamel quickly gets to it. Here's Tajon Buchanan going 1 against 3. Pride getting back. Buchanan touch just a bit too far, and Ashton settles it down.
He's so dangerous in transition with that speed, Dana. Almost able to squeeze that one out, 1-on-3.
Buchanan, the lone goal scorer for Syracuse in the defeat against Portland. Now with 2 on the season, that should come at no surprise. He was phenomenal in his freshman year. Here's Tajon now, 18 yards out defending. Into space. Service in, headed away by Lindquist. Fought for at the circle. Del Hamel in a tough battle, and he wins back possession for Syracuse. He's been doing it all evening. Senior from France, a very reliable midfielder for Coach McIntyre.
Just a sturdy presence in the middle. It really helps as a coach for Coach McIntyre to be able to rely on someone in that midfield area to be confident and comfortable.
Ashton sends it into the Orange end, controlled by Brown on his feet. Attempts to slip it through, and an interception from the Orange defense. Gave up 2 goals, both of them off of dead balls. Hebeker working on Hagman. Back heel into space for Ramsey. He gets his pocket picked by Goldfarb. Billy Goldfarb, one of those newcomers to the Orange roster. There's 10 of them. 10 as well for the Pride. Both rosters that feature a host of underclassmen. Some guys that are getting their first look at the pace and physicality of college soccer. Speaking with Coach McIntyre, he said that was the biggest thing about that road trip out west. just to get those guys a bit acclimated to what they have in store for them.
And they're playing such a big role as Raposo's getting the ball right now on these wide sides. Both him and Goldhar occupying that space and playing a key role in this offense throughout this game.
Lantry puts the ball in, headed to safety, and the Pride look to keep. Del Hamel with other thoughts, forcing the backtrack of Ramsey, and then commits a foul. 5 minutes in, no goals so far in this second half. We had 4 in the opening. The Orange would take the lead twice, and both times the Pride rallying back. That second equalizer coming in the final moments of that first half. A bit of a heartbreaker as Nealis got free. Went one-on-one, toe-to-toe with Hilpert. And the tall senior defenseman for the Pride was victorious.
That's 2 straight games now, Dana, where Hilpert's had a questionable decision in that final third and in the box.
Individual game tickets for Syracuse's 6 2018 home football games are now on sale. Tickets can be purchased online at cuse.com/tickets, by phone 888-DOME-TICKS, or in person at the Carrier Dome box office. Season tickets offer the greatest value in ticket packages. They get going at $125. They're on sale right now. How about that Orange team just a couple of nights ago in Kalamazoo? Big opening night victory over Western Michigan.
We saw a lot of goals in this first half here, Dana. There was a ton of scoring in that game as well. They'll look to keep that going against Wagner.
Early and often for Dungy and company. Here's Brown with space, approaching, saved by Hilpert. Hendrik Hilpert records his first save, and it comes in the second half, but it's a big one.
And what a time for him to get that first save. Cheeky move there from Brown, trying to use the outside of his squirt to squirt it past him. But Hilpert up to the task, using his full extension to make that save.
Pride have yet to lead in this match. Syracuse possessing now with Buchanan. On the far sideline, still a bit of sunlight creeping into the SU Soccer Stadium. Past the 7 o'clock hour. Here's Hagman with the interception. He has Buchanan with him. Hagman 18 yards out, and it's poked away.
Raposo disappointed on that one. He was waiting on the wing on the near side, bottom part of your screen, waiting for that ball. It never came.
It's Hilpert's 152nd save in an Orange uniform. Goes to show you how much time that he spent on this very pitch. Native of Germany, picked up his 29th career win against Oregon State last weekend. That puts him 4th in the SU record list. Also 4th with shutouts. He's got 19. Hilly Goldhar, inside out on his defender, looking for a step. Still has it into an area. Control. Back for Hagman. Shoots. Blocked. The entry back, and Raposo puts it high.
Raposo just couldn't quite get his whole foot around that ball. Sliced it a little bit right above the cage.
Both teams trading chances in the early stages of this second half. Brown with the opportunity back the other way against Hilpert. And Raposo, a good look there. He's been active throughout this one. Ashton sends it long. Fought for and corralled by Hebeker. He sends Brown, but the whistle for offsides.
Brown's been pushing the limits of that back line, trying to be right on the edge of the last defender. A couple times now caught offsides, much to the dismay of Coach Natal.
The back end, it's Norheim. For the middle, the freshman Lantry, his first start in a Syracuse uniform, the native of Syracuse. Attended West Hill High School, close by right here to the SU Soccer Stadium. Goldhar back on his feet, out wide. Service in, dangerous, but nobody home. Regathered and struck just over the bar.
Goldhar wanting that one back. Bounce right to him. Clear look on Cage right here. As you see it on your screen, he had a clear look after it comes in from Farron. The clearance back. And it's that second ball again that comes to the feet of Goldhar. And right there, just slicing away from the cage. Couldn't quite get his foot around it. He wants that one back.
Great angle from our camera, seeing exactly what Goldhar was looking at, aiming for that top left corner. Just couldn't bring it under the bar. Floated on. Raposo charging. Takes it down. Ontario freshman. He's put down on the grass. Wants the quick restart. Lantry, 18 yards out. Service. Gets it back. Lantry puts it through. Ryan Raposo. Patient with the ball.
No foul. Stay on your feet, George.
Switches with Farron. Raposo gets it back.
Ready to step out. Ready to step.
Orange offense going to work. Served back in. And left right at for John Austin Ricks. He strikes. And a save by Ashton.
What a save from Ashton Data. Just one mitt getting to it. Austin Ricks thought he was netting the leader for the Orange.
John Austin Ricks has been involved defensively and offensively.
That was bar down, Dana. That one was going in if Ashton didn't get a mitt to it.
Del Hamel to set up another corner. It was his great service that gave Buchanan's goal. In once again, and Ashton waiting. Both goalkeepers getting busy in this second half. As both teams fight for another lead. Lantry down the side, out of bounds, and the Pride regain possession.
Hofstra looking to slow things down. A couple of players telling the Pride to take their time. Coach Natal telling the players, take your time on this throw and don't rush things. Don't play into Syracuse's hands.
Farron collects the header and drops it off for Raposo. Just lost it off of his foot. Hofstra has the counter if they want it. Field successfully switched at the moment. Hebeker just couldn't get under it. Another turnover. That's not what the Hofstra coaching staff likes to see. Very consistent one at that. Pride looking for that first victory, still of 2018. Lead ball for Goldfar, tracks in and has his pocket picked. Well defended by Holly. Now Hagman. He goes Swick. Raposo thought about the cross. 1-2 with Buchanan. Raposo, he gets it back on the near side. Left-footed strike just on top of the net. 6-2, Alex Ashton waited for it and made sure that was going over the bar.
That one definitely made him sweat a little bit more than I think he initially expected when Raposo went with his weaker left foot there, but Ashton Ricks making sure that that was just a little bit over the bar.
14 minutes into the second half. Knotted up at 2. All goals coming in that opening 45 minutes. Surely been chances, though. Buchanan drops it for Massimo Farron. Ontario native, greeted by 3 Hofstra players, and he dribbles away. Buchanan just out of his reach. Keeps possession, the Orange pouring it on here as this second half continues. Del Hamel. Now Buchanan, dangerously looking to get a shot up. Here's Farron. Attempts to feed it through, and Lindquist picks his pocket. Brown starts the rush out. He has time and space. Luke Brown going wide and can't receive the connection. Defended nicely by Norheim, the sophomore. Started all 17 games last year for Syracuse. That trend holding stern here in 2018, making his 3rd start of the campaign.
Sundre, screen the 21.
Coach McIntyre hoping for some subs. Severin Sorley, goal scorer for the Orange to begin this game. Waiting at midfield for his turn.
Top of the box, Healy.
Long throw coming. Nealis high into the box. Raposo sits and spanks it all the way into the opposing half. Ashton back with it, pushing his teammates north. Serves it back and nicely defended by John Austin Ricks. Saved on the end line, Farron. Looks for options and takes it himself. Tries to feed it for Buchanan. The Orange still pushing for that go-ahead goal. Here's Buchanan with speed. Into the box. Buchanan pulls up. Has it touched off of his feet.
5 feet. Hold. It goes. First time.
On the far side. Pride will clear. Looking for another rush. Just that lone chance off the foot of Luke Brown. That's been the main highlight for the visitors in this second half. Gave Hilbert a real tough play. Assistant coach Sean Foster in his first season with the Pride. Oh, he's no stranger to this program. One of 4 All-Americans in program history with Hofstra. Graduate back in 2014. It's not a bad addition to have to your coaching staff, that's for sure.
Definitely with this youth on this team, he definitely can play a role coming in and showing these guys this is how you do it. He has the experience in the past on this pass play with the foul. Again, Raposo coming in low at just 5'7" on those high balls. Him and O'Malley have tussled up quite a number of times in this game.
George O'Malley, the sophomore from England, stands at 5'11", so he's got 4 inches on Raposo. Not a ton, but both of them involved for their respective squads. Especially Ryan Raposo. Freshman from Hamilton, Ontario, has been active through his first 3 games. Set piece for the Pride. Tied at 2. Waiting on it is Lindquist. 2-man wall for Syracuse. As a host of players await at the box. Lindquist swings it in by the back post, and it floats out of play.
That one dangerously floating in the air there. If you're a Syracuse fan or Coach McIntyre watching that swing in.
Severin Sorley enters back into the game. Gives Ryan Raposo a much-deserved rest. He's been all over the place, picking up an assist and earning point number 3 through just 3 games. Del Hamel, the service for Sorley, running onto it. Takes a touch in the box. Defended by a couple of Pride defenders. Defender Lantry goes one way and drops it back. Sorley, the freshman, working and finds a safe haven in Del Hamel. Hagman, he can't get onto it. And the Pride once again have to defend. Outletted the other way. Strongen, he's hauled down and no call. Staunch defending by Michael Lantry. His first start in an orange uniform. Showing Coach Mack what he can do. The opposing coaching staff, well, they don't like it so much.
And you can hear Coach Natal not pleased that they choose to call that one over the one he saw on his own player, fairly enraged along the sidelines.
Well, it's been a tough season so far, although it may be young for the Pride. 0-2-1, that lone tie coming against Dayton at a neutral site. A 1-0 defeat against Ohio State a couple of days later, and then just Thursday night up against Colgate. They fell 2-0 against a top 25 team. Now in a battle with the Orange. Farron looking for Buchanan. Collected by the Orange at midfield. It's Zugner who settles it back for Hilbert. Seemed like a quiet first half for Hendrick, at least in the save department. He's had to be on his toes so far in half number 2. That one surely called. Lantry with a late kick. And the referee going for the yellow card, first one of the game.
Well, in his first career start, the Syracuse native etching his name in the scorebook in one way or another here with the yellow card.
And you could tell Lantry knew it the second he went down. Not trying for the ball, but he gets some pats on the head from Coach McIntyre. Kamal Miller, the captain for Syracuse, not able to go today, or at least to this point. It opened an opportunity for Lantry. He's played a host of minutes. Tied at 2, 26 minutes and counting remaining. All 4 goals came back in that opening 45 as Hilpert tracks down the loose ball, and we'll get ready to send it. Severin Sorley now in the ball game for Syracuse. He scored off a rebound in the 14th minute. And he has the ball right now. A step down the left side. Sorley cuts inside to his right. Drop to in an area. Farron dangerously for Hagman. It's loose. Shot is blocked. Buchanan nudged in the box. No call. And Syracuse maintains possession. On the far side, the whistle, and Syracuse getting another set piece awfully similar to where Del Hamel found Buchanan back in the first.
What a flurry of action, and you can see Austin Ricks enraged with that free kick award in there.
John Austin Ricks, the defender, has been active for Syracuse, along with this man, Hugo Del Hamel, setting up the free kick. 2-man wall for the Pride with bodies waiting in the box. Del Hamel flicked off. It didn't even get into the danger area. Triantafilou back defending, a new substitution for the Orange. Sophomore from Ontario back defending, and the Pride offside once again. Late kick from Hebeker. Hilpert, he wasn't going to take any chances. He's still making another save.
When you have as many breaks as Hilpert does, sometimes it feels good just to get your mitts on one.
Come on!
You see Hilly Goldhar down the right side. On his left foot, pass is intercepted. Brought back by the Pride. This Hofstra defense, especially in this second half, has really settled down nicely and created some opportunities for the offense. Hebeker feeds it through the shot, and Hilpert gets it with a leg.
Nice job from Hilpert there, coming out a couple steps from cage, getting big. As you can see, Hofstra coming in close. Hilpert gets big, and then ready down low with his feet to knock that one away. Second save of the night for Hilpert.
Both of those saves, though, have been in crucial instances. It was just before that, at the start of the half, Luke Brown, that inside-out part of his foot, flicked it towards the German goalkeeper, who had to go full extension to keep it out of the net. Sean Nealis into the box for Don, and Hilpert is there. He wants the Orange to go fast. Buchanan can provide that. Down the near side. Buchanan working on his defender. Getting past one. Charging towards the end line. Pulls up and waits for reinforcements. Buchanan feeling the physicality, and he's earned another possession for Syracuse. Just like that, the entry from Hilpert, he finds Buchanan, and Syracuse in business.
Dana, you mentioned Hilpert looking for the quick restart. You don't have to tell many players on this Syracuse team to go quick. Syracuse ready to restart very quickly. That's that go, go, go mentality that Coach McIntyre is trying to instill on this team.
Dijamon Johnson, new substitution for Syracuse. A touch to Triantafilou, who finds Del Hamel. He plays catch with Johnson. 22 to go in regulation. Hagman had the step. That forced the collision.
Hagman first to this ball, as you see here on the pass from Johnson. Gets his foot to it. Clearly beaten on the play was Tausch. Nothing to do but take him down. Syracuse hit another free kick in a dangerous area.
Del Hamel and his orange beard standing over the ball. A prime opportunity for Syracuse to break the tie. Three-man wall for the Pride. Another makes it 4. Del Hamel in on net, and Ashton makes the save.
Ashton up to the task on that one. Del Hamel decided to give a challenge on this one. You can see he's going near post on this one. That ball bending, a lot of action. Ashton able to stay with that action. Come up with the save.
Fed ahead for Buchanan, can't run onto it. Neither Sorley. And the Pride clear out. All the way back towards midfield. Another whistle, and it goes the way of Syracuse. Entering the final 21 minutes of regulation. Action-packed first half. It's been the same here in the second so far. No goals. But it's not to a lack of opportunities. Johnson from this hit and turns the ball over. Luke Brown, the junior forward from England, got the scoring started for the Pride back in the first half. Off the penalty kick. He comes in and replacing Vowinkle. We've already seen what Brown can do just in these final 45 minutes. Going one-on-one with Hilper. Some nifty touches as well. Bounced on the far side. Brown to it. Aerial route. Far side, but too far in front of Strongen. Triantafilou. The toss to Hilbert. German goalkeeper, the senior, has had quite the run with the Orange in his final season playing for Coach McIntyre, including some incredible postseason accolades as well. Thoughts come up of a couple of years ago, that season that the Orange had.
All the way to the Final Four. Into penalty kicks against Clemson. Very seasoned veteran is Hilbert.
Goldhar had a step, lost it, poked away, and Hebeker attempts to turn the corner, can't do so successfully. Here's Johnson into the feet. Johnson gets it back, fakes the cross, gets the step, now serves it in, dangerously headed away. Another one, and Ashton leaps in the air, his 100th career save, and it's a big one.
John Austin Ricks with his third absolute rocket off of a deflection tonight. Again, it's that second ball. You see him step into it. Again, bar down. That one rising. What a quick reaction from Ashton there. Up to the task once again.
Not the easiest ball to hit for Ricks either. That one bouncing, and he got it on frame. Another corner for Syracuse. Tied at 2. Del Hamel serves it in near post. Bouncing on the ground. And the Pride will get to it, courtesy of Seufert. Ramsey, high lofting ball, forces a challenge, and Luke Brown to bring it down. Hagman spanks that one away, though, as these teams go back and forth. Phenomenal opener at home for the Orange. And the tons of fans that have come on to the SU Soccer Stadium, they've seen a great one so far. Peter Meyer out wide for Hebeker, freshman from Germany. Yet to record a point, but he's been all over the place.
Syracuse these past couple seasons, you see the noticeable dip this past year in wins at home, trying to get off on the right foot tonight. Back in 2014, 15, 16, all up around the double-digit area of wins near that 10-win mark. Last year, just 2. Syracuse trying to change that this year. McIntyre told us earlier this week that's a point of emphasis for this team. He wrote a letter to the fans promising an exciting game, and he's delivered on that with his team tonight.
Well, you could just tell how excited these players were to get here and finally play at home. Coach McIntyre saying that these Orange fans, they know their soccer. They know what to expect, and he feels it's his duty to give a great product. And so far, at least through these first 70 minutes or so, it's been phenomenal. Brown on the turf. Johnson back to help out as Syracuse plays keep away in their own end. Norheim out wide. Triantafilou feeling the pressure and has to retreat. Syracuse with a season high already in shots. Tied their season high in goals. They scored 2 in the season opener against Oregon State. Del Hamel nifty into space. Through ball with some power, and it's got Raposo, but he's just a hair offside. How about Hugo Del Hamel putting on the nifty footwork?
For you FIFA players at home, he spun the right analog stick there for you right around the defender. What a move. Also, fans of kicking and screaming right remember the final play of the game. He mastered that play right there. What a move from there. But Raposo might have been too mesmerized there, got a couple steps offside.
He's been impactful today, Del Hamel, the senior from France, as he has been pretty much every contest he's played for Coach McIntyre. So solid in that midfield. Here's Brown, a touch for Ramsey, attempts to feed it through, defended by Triantafilou. Raposo hands off as we approach the final 15 minutes. All knotted up at 2, goals to Sorley and Buchanan for Syracuse. It's the big defender Sean Nealis and the forward Luke Brown from the PK spot that scored for the visitors. Sondre Norheim works it for Del Hamel. Head up and crosses midfield. Aerial pass sends in Raposo, and once again called just offside, and the home crowd doesn't like it.
And neither does Raposo. He was fired up on that play. Coach McIntyre shrugging his shoulders at his player, who was still hot. Let's take
Coach
a look
McIntyre not happy with the call, as you could just see the run
starting to form, and that one had to be close just based on the separation there. Those judgment calls can go either way. Sometimes they go for you, sometimes they goes against you. Coach McIntyre imploring Ryan Raposo to look forward to that next play.
He's been running in behind the Hofstra defense all evening, posing a ton of problems. Brown feeling contact. Del Hamel off the volley. Brought down by Oscar Ramsey. Defensive Norheim puts it up and out of play. Hofstra starting to tilt the pitch a bit. Syracuse with great opportunities in the first 20 or 30 minutes of this half. But over the last few, it seems like the Pride are pushing back. Etienne Bautier enters. Hendrik Hebeker will sit. Nealis. Soft throw into the box. Flicked on. High, and Hilpert to a leap. And he's got it. Eerily similar to that goal that was scored, the second one for Hofstra. That was off the head of Nealis. One of those soft crosses in that might not seem like anything's cooking, but all it takes is one little flick in a mixed direction. The goalkeeper can be left out to dry. Billy Goldhart going 1 against 1. Gets by one. Gets past the other. He's put down on the turf. No call. Once again, the freshman from Toronto providing a spark.
He may be a freshman, but it's hard to tell that, Dana, with his confidence on the ball, dropping a defender on that play.
Raposo swings it in, headed out. Heckman, and belts it high into the sky. That brings a whistle.
So Sorlier imploring that he did not touch him on that one. A smiling exchange of words between the players.
Not sure that's all too friendly. That's the big defender Sean Nealis for Hofstra, and a thumbs up from Sorley. So at least for us, it looks cordial. Coach McIntyre looking on hoping to start the home opener on the right foot. His team is coughed up, leads twice. Hoping to rebound off of that loss against Portland last weekend. Against a stingy Hofstra squad that just won't go away. Flicked on. Raposo can't get to it. It's Ramsey. Down to his feet with Brown. Fed out. Triantafilou can't get to it. Potier put down on the grass. Crowd wanting a call. The bench wanting a call. And Triantafilou can't believe it.
Hard to tell here. Trying to make a play. Looks like a dive. Triantafilou flipping out players on the ground. Mayhem on the far side of the field right now as you look back at that play. Triantafilou seeing no contact there, minimal amounts.
It was the new substitution, Etienne Potier, who's still gone on the ground. As things get heated on a hot Sunday night in Syracuse, Triantafilou pleading his case to the referee.
Those friendly smiles we may have seen a minute ago, Dana, are very much gone at the moment.
It goes to show you how important this game is for both teams. It may be early on in the season. Syracuse hoping for the first home victory. Hofstra, their first lone W itself. As you get another look at the contact. It's those 50-50 balls between defender and a forward that we so often see those collisions.
Etienne still down, getting checked out over there by the medical staff of Hofstra. Little towel off and pat on the back.
Potier from Medford, New York, playing his just his second of 4 games.
As we look here again, clearly hit in the face there by the free arm of Triantafilou was Etienne there. He goes down after that.
Coach McIntyre pleading his case as well, and seems like we're getting close to the start. Clock has been stopped. 12:44 exactly remaining on the game clock as both of these squads push for that go-ahead goal.
Put your mindset in, let's defend it. Come on.
Appears it'll be just a free kick just outside of the box.
Potier had a great run. The service was perfect. Triantafilou had no choice but to make some contact. And very similar to where the Orange had a free kick back in the first half. Hofstra has their own. It's Oscar Ramsey standing over. Players converging into the box. Ramsey waits. Substitution coming in for the Pride. It's Matthew Vowinkle. He scored a goal against Dayton in the last week to replace Potier. Waddles off gingerly, taking the contact from Triantafilou. So the physicality has really ramped up in the later stages. Ball in, hit high and up and over everyone. Hilpert will scamper to the fresh new one. A miss hit, and a lost opportunity for the Pride.
That one launched well over all the players in the box. I'm sure not what the coaching staff was looking for from that service.
Ball into the Hofstra end. Hagman attempts to run onto it. Johnson joining the fun, and Del Hamel will settle it down. Goldhart, 1 against 2. Into an area and a big challenge. Produce that loose ball. Syracuse pushing for that go-ahead goal. These two teams have been kept off the score sheet since the 42nd minute of the first half. It's concluded a 28-minute span, which we saw 4 goals. Out wide, it's Seufert. Trying to get the return. And Del Hamel collects. Johnson into space for Goldvar. Just out in front of him. Another turnover, and those can be ever so costly, especially in the later stages.
Something you hadn't seen from Syracuse very much in this game, more Hofstra early on. Costly turnover there for the Orange.
Contact with John Austin Ricks, and we play on. The defender carries over and sends it deep. Johnson on his horse, rushing to it, but Lindquist gets there first and sends it into safety. Delhamel for Goldhawk. Playing keep away as Syracuse finally kicks it out. It's John Austin Ricks, the junior defender from California. He's been laboring.
Appears to be stretching out in the fashion traditionally associated with a cramp, as the medical staff appears to come out to attend to him.
Not a bad start for the home opener. 2-2 score, 80 minutes completed, 4 goals. A lot of action, a lot of saves. We've seen the physicality, and it does seem like a cramp the issue. As the training staff comes on to work on John Austin Ricks. He's been very popular for this Orange attack from the back end. A couple of great shots that's forced even better saves from Alex Ashton. Syracuse looking ahead. They take on the Fighting Irish this Friday right here at the SU Soccer Stadium. You can catch that one on ACC Network Extra. And a trip over to Cornell as Ricks is back up on his feet, though walking gingerly to the bench.
And it appears to be that right leg that's produced a couple of massive rockets on target tonight. That appears to be the issue with the cramps, and it appears to be Massimo Farron checking in his place.
Junior from Ontario, transferred from UAB after his sophomore year. Playing for SU after he did some time with the U20 Canadian national team. One of those guys that McIntyre loves to work on with the service, along with Delhamel. It was Farron and Hugo, the two guys that Max said he'd like to see do that.
He said he's one of the more creative players on that team, did McIntyre of Farron.
Back underway, sportsmanship as Hofstra gives the ball back to Hilper. And the Orange will start from its own end. Delhamel sends it deep for Raposo. Charging onto it, takes the first touch, and peels back. Ryan Raposo sends it back the other way. Goldhart charges, but he can't get to it in time.
Just a little too much on that one from Raposo, but you still see the ability to stop and start and constantly change direction ever present.
Tejan Buchanan back in, replacing Sorley. Started the scoring for the Orange off the rebound. Though Buchanan, his header, that's a tough one to forget. Perfect ball from Delhamel, and Buchanan, the perfect little flick.
No foul, Ryan.
Here's Luke Brown, junior forward for the Pride. Held off the score sheet. Entering today, he changed that with his penalty kick goal. That came back in the 22nd minute. He beat Hilper. Hagman the long ball, too far in front of everybody, and Ashton to get to it.
And Hagman immediately disappointed with himself there. On that one, he just caught a little bit too much of it. You saw immediately he knew it as soon as it left his foot, that one wasn't going where he wanted.
Well, Alex Ashton, the goalkeeper for Hofstra, has made some phenomenal saves. Kept the Pride in it. On the far side, Strongen dispossessed. Hagman brings it down with his chest, but turns it over. Holly feeling pressure dangerously near Buchanan.
You might think you have clearance of Buchanan, Dana, but his closing speed makes many casual balls seem dangerous.
Going back the other way, Syracuse to possess with 8:38 and counting. We've been even since the 42nd minute. Sean Nealis' header in the closing moments of the first half. That's the last marker. Ramsey with some space. Number 10 versus number 10 as Delhamel comes to cover. Brought out wide. Strongen attempts the surface. It's blocked away by Johnson. Try number 2. That's booted it well. Dropped back in and on the ground. It forces a corner. Norheim had no choice but to put it up out of play. And Hofstra threatens once again.
Norheim, the sophomore from Norway, taking no risks here with under 8 minutes to play in this game.
Corner kick's about even. Hofstra will get another one here with Ramsey delivering from the near corner. Players waiting in the box along with Hilpert in the gray goalie jersey. Busy in this second half. Swung in, brought down, on and out of play. Tumbles up by the hill with all the fans. Hofstra doesn't love the call. Hawley thought that was last touch SU. The referees give the ball to the Orange.
That ball just over the heads of some size in the box for Hofstra, including Nealis, who headed home the goal earlier in this game.
Pride beginning to push north, moving left to right. Syracuse breaks the pressure, and Raposo on his horse, carrying in with his left foot. Sends in dangerously, Buchanan, the shot, they score! The freshman Goldhar puts the Orange out in front in the final 7 minutes.
Who else for this Syracuse team to spark this goal than Ryan Raposo, freshman to freshman, with his weaker left foot. He gets down the sideline. Look at how he squeaks that ball through, touches a couple members. Here you go, happy helper for Goldhar. He nets the goal. Syracuse with the lead late in this game, comfortably tapping it in.
And you could see the joy on the faces of the Orange players playing at home for the first time in 2018. And who would have thought the freshman, Hilly Goldhar, scores his first career goal in Orange to give SU the 3-2 advantage.
What a time for your first goal, Dave.
Still lots of time to play, 6:30 and counting. The first marker since the 42nd minute. And the Orange has its third lead of the game. Johnson out of play. It was the work of Raposo and Buchanan that set it up on a tee for Goldhar.
And it was fitting, Dana, for the two players we've been talking about on either wing all game, wreaking havoc constantly. It's been Ryan Raposo and Illy Goldhar, both taking a major role in the go-ahead goal now for the Orange.
Sorley, Buchanan, and now Goldhar, the freshman from Toronto, producing when it matters most. And Syracuse has another lead. Not so fast, though. Pride have responded every single time the Orange has gone out in front. 8 minutes after the first Syracuse goal, just 16 minutes after the second. They've only got 5.5 to work with here. Nealis pushing his teammates forward. Deep throw, flicked on. Hebeker not able to get to it, and it's a goal kick for the Orange. Substitutions for Syracuse. Dylan McDonald, defender from Pennsylvania. He sees his first action of 2018. Played in 2 matches last year and made a start. As Coach McIntyre goes for some more defensive-minded substitutions.
Going with a more offensive forward midfielder with a more defensive player in that instance there, getting McDonald in the game, the sophomore from Pennsylvania.
Syracuse has scored a season-high 3 goals. Last time they scored 3. Back on September 12th, that against Oregon State. Cuse, they were victorious 3-2. That's our scoreline right now. Ball placed in. Triantafilou heads it out. Put down for Strongen, and his shot is straight into the body of Hagman. O'Malley curls it by the back post, and Hilpert lets it fly.
And you can see the urgency mounting for Hofstra, a team who during this game had been content a little bit to allow the Orange absorb some pressure from Syracuse. Now committing numbers forward simply because they have to.
Simon, get alongside your
Ian McIntyre yelling out his instructions. Vulnerable minutes. Those last 5, also the following 5 of a goal scored as Hofstra pushes for the equalizer once again. Brought down, Del Hamel, back, shot from behind, he scores! Luke Brown picks the top left corner, and Hofstra has equalized again.
Two goals in this game for Luke Brown, and for the 3rd time in this game, Hofstra has equalized. We're knotted up at 3. It's Luke Brown, the ball brought down. Again, the second ball has been a problem in this game for both squads. Brown sets it up, tees it up, upper 90 left corner, top header. What a goal from Luke Brown.
It only took a matter of minutes once again for the Pride to respond. A team that scored 3 goals only once last season, and they've done it in match number 4 of 2018. All that Hendrik Hilper can do is look on. There's no stopping that strike.
Clearly looking out towards the defense. Syracuse going back in now with offensive substitute. Johnson coming back in for McDonald right away.
Approaching 3 minutes to play. Norheim brings it down with his head on the near side and floats it up towards midfield. Brown, the hero at the moment for the Pride, as it trickles out of play, and it's going Orange way. Buchanan in a battle with Nealis, and that brings the whistle. Senior defender had a grab of the Orange forward.
Be a free kick here for Syracuse. The Orange looking to respond. Another gut check here. Coach McIntyre's going to learn something about his team today with how they play the rest of this game.
Del Hamel raises his hand, approaches, and boots. Drops, Buchanan, scores! Are you kidding me? Tajon Buchanan, and the Orange leads again!
Just when we thought the script was set in this game, Dana, Tajon Buchanan flips it again. Not just with the goal, but with the backflip after it as well. Look at this service again in from Del Hamel, and it's that deflection again, right to the left foot of Buchanan, and he nets it in, and then basks in the glow of it. What a flip from Buchanan. Holy momentum swings, Dana.
3 goals in a span of 7 minutes. 2 for the Orange, and they take their 4th lead of the evening. Buchanan's 3rd goal of the season to lead the club.
Buchanan's had a point in every single Syracuse game this season.
He's been pivotal tonight. We'll see if the Orange can hold on once again. 2:17 showing on the clock. Syracuse 4, Hofstra 3.
Dana, what else did you want from the home opener?
You couldn't have asked for much more. Physicality, saves, goals aplenty, and late game heroics from the man that you would expect, Tajon Buchanan, the sophomore, providing the go-ahead goal.
Just a sophomore, but one of the more experienced players in that SU attack. That's where a lot of that youth and new talent has come from via the transfer market or via freshmen.
It was just minutes after Syracuse took their 3rd lead of the evening, courtesy of Hilly Goldhar, that Luke Brown rocketed a strike into the top left corner. Tajon Buchanan says, I don't want to end in a tie. And he scores for the Orange to put them up once again. Triantafilou sends it out as we tick towards the 2-minute mark. Hofstra sending everyone forward. The throw from Nealis into the box, flicked on, headed away, it drops. Del Hamel can't get the touch, but it floats up and rolling towards the end line. Hofstra retains possession, 100 seconds to play.
And these long throws have been a point of emphasis during the week for Coach McIntyre. The danger of this height on this Hofstra team.
Another throw in, headed away. Buchanan knocked down, and that's big. Syracuse gets the ball back. Tajon Buchanan gets helped up. Number 17 in orange and blue. Paying the price. Lindquist knocking him to the turf. Buchanan right back up, though. He's running on adrenaline. He has the go-ahead goal. Hilpert sets the ball.
For once tonight, Syracuse taking its time on the restart.
Booted end over end. Charging for it, Farron. Corralled by Strongen. Lofted in, and Del Hamel has it. Deflected by the far sideline. And Syracuse has it. Peter Strangelin gets past one. He charges down the right sideline. He's headed for the corner. Strangelin with Hebeker right on his back. Under a minute to play. Strangelin just killing time, and Buchanan there to help.
Wisely taking it to the corner.
Buchanan with the nifty footwork. Finally, the Pride have it momentarily, and Tajon takes it back.
Playing keep away, wisely tapping it there as well. Once he knew it was lost, out for a throw as opposed to a goal kick.
Hagman sends it back where it came from. Last final hope for the Pride to equalize for a fourth time. Thrown towards midfield. Brown. Del Hamel flicks on. Brown with it. Puts it towards the end line. And the Orange, in an in-state thriller, opens up their home season with a 4-3 victory. Del Hamel down on the turf as the Orange players finally can breathe a sigh of relief. Last time the Orange scored 4 goals was back in 2016 against Pittsburgh in the ACC playoffs. They do it in their home opener at the SU